G'day folks. Following the amazing success of Lord Reags' best value tipping at Rose Hill Races today, Saturday, the 7th of December 2019, in which we whipped the backside of one Tom Waterhorse by $820 thanks to a very long shot getting up at 33 to 1, and that was the Party Girl, and it paid about $6 for the place, so that really gave our place investments a boost, our imaginary place investments a boost, because we play fantasy flutters, don't we, everyone? Yes, because we recommend you gamble responsibly, and the best way to gamble responsibly is not to gamble at all. Have zero capital at risk by joining Lord Reags and playing fantasy flutters. It's a game. So we can make up any amount we like and we can throw it into the mix and just see how they go, and we keep track ourselves. Now, Ascot is on in about an hour from now, and that means is a very big race called the Kingston Town Classic. That's one of the Mega Millions ones. Magic Millions Kingston Town Classic over 1,800 metres, and I thought some of you might wonder or be interested in who Lord Reags likes for value in this particular race, seeing he is undoubtedly without peer in the tipping stakes, having been the world's best value horse racing tipster, bar none, since 1973. Race 8 is the Kingston Town Classic, and Regal Power is in it, and I'd be changing the spelling of Regal Power to my spelling, which is Reagal, which should be the way the conventional spelling should be, but it's not, and that's the world in which we live, and we just have to live with it. It's got good form. It's had a win. It's had a spell. It's come back from a spell, first up second, then a win. But can it go the distance of 1,800 metres? It's never won over 1,800 metres. So we look around. We find a horse that actually has won at the track. Has won at the track and at the distance. We found a horse that is actually trained at the track and can even win in the wet. Well, it's a very dry track today at Ascot in Perth, Western Australia, and that horse that Lord Reags has chosen is PLATOON. PLATOON, number 10, with Parnham aboard at 33 to 1. That's the best value in the race that I see, and I suggest if you want to have a flutter, you might include these other 5 runners and box them in a trifecta in a first 4. Numbers 11, Mississippi Delta. Number 7, Pacodali. Number 16, Tuscan Queen. Number 9, the Velvet King. And number 8, Regal Power. With number 10, Lord Reags' on top selection, PLATOON. Now, how much is that going to cost you imaginarily? Well, for $130 in a first 4, and if it gets up, it could pay thousands and thousands of dollars. For $130, you get 10%. So if it pays, for example, $10,000, you'll get $1,000 back, and you've only outlaid $130 imaginary dollars. First 4, to box those 6 runners, it costs $1,300, but you get 100% of the dividends. So if it pays $10,000 or $20,000, you get, guess what? 10 or 20,000 imaginary dollars, because we're playing fantasy flutters, people. Good people, men and women of Australia, over 18. If you wanted to just take a safer option again and just go for the trifecta, it's a lot cheaper. For $20, you can box 6 racehorses, and that means they can come in any order, first, second or third. But it's like insurance. You widen the margin. You lessen the margin of error, so you maximise your chances of winning, but as you do that, your winnings would come down and down and down. So you got to figure out at which point is it false economy. For $200, you can box 6 runners, like those 6 runners I mentioned in the Kingston Town Classic. And $20 get you 10% of the trifecta. So if it pays, say, $1,500, which it very well could, you'll get $150 back for your 20 imaginary dollars. Men and women of Australia, my fellow Australians. $200 gets you 100%. In which case, if it only pays $1,500, you still get 100% of that. So you've made $1,300 imaginary dollars, my fellow Australians. So there you go. So that's the result and outcome of race 8, which is on in approximately 40 minutes. So you've only got 40 minutes to do something about it if you wanted to, or you can just play Fantasy Flutters with Lord Reags and see how they go around on Sky Racing Channel. Race 9, the final event at Ascot. I like number 4, and that is Push to Pass. It's 33-1. The other runners I like are number 10, High Energy, number 2, Here Comes Lenny, number 1, Brothers Keeper with Turner aboard, number 8, British Bessie, and number 11, Sentimental Gift with Pike aboard, the favourite, number 16, Winnifer, Parnham aboard at 10-1. So to box them in a trifecta, same deal again, about $25 for 10%, $250 for 100. And to box them, it'd be about, because there's an extra runner there, it'd probably be in the vicinity of maybe $200 to box them in the first 4, and $2,000 to get 100%. It's up to you what you do. Imaginary dollars is what's it all about. You'll pay off your mortgage much faster if you don't gamble. I'll tell you that right here, right now, over there in the corner. So this has been Lord Reags, giving you the shortcut to collecting something back in return. And if you do want to do something straight out, don't back straight out. That's the mug's game. Because mathematically, you can't win all the time backing straight out. You can't win all the time backing each way either. That's false economy. What is not false economy, however, is if you put your full amount, whatever you're willing to risk that you can afford to lose, on for the place if you only want to have one runner in a race. Just put it on for the place if they're a big enough price. If they're under 3-1 or they're a favourite, okay, back them straight out. Because that's the only exception to my rule, the Lord Reags rule of false economy. Only back something straight out if it's like a Winx or a really good horse at $1.30, $1.50, so you'll be able to at least get half your money back. 20 imaginary dollars will get you $30 back, so you profited $10. That to me is a sensible wager. But at least 30% of the time, that hot favourite is going to give you a heart attack finish and get beaten by a nostril, a crooked ear, or a cross-eyed. So pick something a bit of value, like Lord Reags does, and just have it on the place, because most good place dividends are about $1.80 to $2.50, and in many cases that's better than the favourite returns if it had won, and many times they don't win. So give it a shot with imaginary dollars. Play Fantasy Flutters with Lord Reags. So you've got about 35 minutes to the big one, the big Ascot race today, the Magic Millions Kingston Town Classic. And just repeating, summing up, number 10 to win, Platoon, have something on the place only because it's 33-1, or box those numbers as suggested, 10, 11, 7, 16, 8 and 9. And then in the next race, race 9, the lucky last, Lord Reags likes for the place number 4, Push to Pass, 33-1, or in a box trifecta or box those 4, 10, 2, 1, 8, 11, 16 and 4. Good luck if you're having an imaginary flutter. This is Lord Reags. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. Just look up Lord Reags.